Hello and welcome to this World of Tanks subscriber replay. My name as always is Maxwell, and today's video is from the user Yuri Poika. I'm fairly sure that's how it's pronounced, Yuri Poika, and he's driving the KV-1 on a standard battle on the steppes. So obviously the KV-1 is the tier 5 heavy tank for the Russian line, and you know when this thing's fully upgraded and top tier in a battle that it can be pretty hard to shift and an absolute brawler. So let's see how he gets on. Heading over to this far left hand flank to begin with, and going to back up those light tanks and that medium tank which are taking a early scouting position. The only thing about the KV-1 is it's a bit slow and a bit cumbersome, so just going to speed it up until we actually get into some action. It's going to take up a long route around the back of these mountains. Spots out a Crusader there, going to try and pick him off, not using the zoom in function until much later. There we go, using that now. I've heard that some people don't use the zoom function very often because it can cause some severe lag and FPS slowdown, so they much prefer just to use the regular aim rather than the zoom aim. So able to take a good portion of the hit points off that Crusader there. Spots out another KV-1 in the distance. Going to try and get a hit on him. Unfortunately, just about missing. Going to zoom in and try and pick him off and try and predict where he's going, but not sure if that one's hit, as nobody's got eyes on him anymore. Probably didn't, and probably didn't hit that shot either. So a little bit unfortunate there. So he's just taking a good camping position here and letting the Leopard do the spotting and trying to hit anybody that he sees. Unfortunately, the Leopard is getting a little bit pounded, so the enemy KV-1 here is trying to approach in on him and see if he can take him out. Not quite able to get any damage on him there, and it looks like the Leopard has indeed had it. So as you can see, the enemy's committed quite a sizable force to this left-hand flank, and even a sizable force to that right-hand flank. Actually, not too sure what's going on, as the enemy seems to be winning in every area of the map. Spots out this T-50, who's just deciding to try and circle around this Churchill Mark III. That's the Lend-Lease version. Unfortunately, the Churchill Mark III getting taken out there by the superior speed manoeuvrability of this T-50. Not able to get him, as he's able to get behind the rocks before the KV-1 is able to reload, and they are getting absolutely pummeled at the moment. 2 kills to 7 for the enemy team. It looks like they've just pushed every single flank down the centre, on the right hand flank and on the left hand flank, and managed to win in every situation. T-50 staying still for probably a little bit too long there, but luckily not able to punish him too badly for that. The KV-1 manages to get a hit and take a little bit of his hit points off, and it looks like he's just camping out there and waiting for our man to make a mistake, and then he's going to punish him for that. But it looks like the enemy has another KV-1 pushing directly up the centre, and here is that Panzer III. Unfortunately, our man missing, but the Panzer III not able to get through that front armour of the KV-1. Just trying to ignore that T-50 a little bit. Unfortunately, he's doing a little bit of damage, so not going to be able to ignore him for too long. Doing the smart thing and reversing at the same time as doing the turret traverse, just to try and stop the guy from being able to get around behind him. Unfortunately, the T-50 is just too fast, able to take out the tracks of the KV-1 and then still able to get away. Just going to try desperately to get a shot on this T-50 now before he gets himself taken out or gets his tracks done. Unfortunately, he seems to angle his body, his tank, at the opposite direction of his turret there, or else he probably would have been able to catch him up sooner. Takes out the T-50's tracks, and that is probably going to be all she wrote for the T-50. And there we go, picking up his first kill of the match. Unfortunately, they are now losing 6-11. Oh, and that was lucky. Wow. Managed to ammo rack that Panzer III as he came around the corner. So evening up the score a little bit. Now at 11-7. So that was a fantastic shot there, managing to ammo rack him. Doing a good job focusing on the weak points of the KV-1's front armour there, and able to punish him for his hubris and able to take him out. So all they have left now is that medium tank, their artillery, and himself on only 229 hit points, although that Hurtzer coming up the centre there is getting a little bit pummeled. Spots out a 38 NA. good shot there to take him out. So now he's going to have to track back across and shore up the defences in the centre of this map. So there goes the M7 Priest, taken out by that Crusader. People are raging in the chat saying that it's a noob team. Unfortunately, they were part of the defeat, so take that with a pinch of salt is what I always say. Spots out an A20 there. The only thing is the enemy still has 2 artillery pieces, so once he gets spotted out like this, he's going to have to take his shot and then move on, or else that artillery is going to be able to zero in on him and take him out. As you can see there, the Wesp already landing a shot and taking out his track. Able to get a good bit of damage on this A20. Not going to be able to take him out as he sinks back down behind the mountain. Going to have to wait for his track to repair and then move on again. Not really sure what their medium tank... Who is that, in fact? It's a Matilda Black Prince. So not really sure what the Matilda Black Prince is doing on that far right-hand flank. Maybe he knows that if he moves too much, he's going to get spotted by an enemy that he knows is in the area. Or maybe he's just trying to AFK. Actually, no, I can see him moving now. So he's obviously not trying to AFK. He still has full hit points, actually, so if they play this one smart, they may be able to hold off the enemy, even though they are 3 kills down. It's just 2 of them versus 5 there. So that Crusader not really going to be a match for the Matilda Black Prince. Could possibly get some damage on this Matilda. I know the top-tiered gun for that Crusader is the same that the Lend-Lease Churchill gets, so gonna have to be careful because he can lay down a serious rate of fire and some serious damage if he's able to pick out people's weak spots. So just taking up a defensive position behind some rocks here, not wanting to show himself too much, as like I said earlier, if he gets spotted out, that artillery will be quick to follow. So just trying to make the enemy come into them, and that way they have the advantage, as they'll obviously be sat still and be able to target, zero in on the enemy and take them out. It'll be much easier fighting against 3 tanks than charging and fighting against 5. As you can see, spots out the A20 on the other side of the map there. Going to let his gun focus in a bit and try and take him out. Unfortunately not being able to hit, so he's going to have to go into zoom mode and then able to take out the A20 with a fantastic shot. Unfortunately he's probably going to have to move because he's probably been spotted after that. As you can see, just moving himself back a little bit. That Crusader still playing standoff with the Matilda Black Prince in the background there, but they've got plenty of time left on the clock, so more than able to just wait this one out. So just going to speed it up a little bit until we get back into the action. Enemy still has 4 tanks against the 2 of the allied team here, so really weight of numbers is against the team, although they have now taken out that Matilda Black Prince, so that just leaves, in fact, is that the silhouette of an M5? It is an M5 Stuart and 2 artillery pieces, so I'm going to have to wait for the M5 to come to them, because really what the M5 is going to be doing is he's going to be coming into their enemy base and they're trying to spot them out and then moving away just so that the artillery can try and get them. And as you can see, the M5 Stuart indeed coming down the centre there and keeping hidden behind those rocks. So the Matilda Black Prince has almost certainly been spotted out now and probably going to get himself killed, unfortunately. Only 16 hit points left. KV-1 probably should have moved out to support him there and try and take out that M5 Stuart, because the Matilda just got triple teamed there by the artillery and the M5 and taken out. Spots out the Wesp. Unfortunately the Wesp has spotted him, but his rate of fire is much greater than the turning speed of the Wesp. So he's been spotted now, so just going to try and come out and take out that M5. Unfortunately he's going to have to keep moving, because if he doesn't, he's going to get hit like that from the artillery, which is the SU-5. And unfortunately that M5 Stuart is hiding behind the corpse of another fallen tank. So he's going to have to get in on him and try and take him out. Not quite able to do it. The M5 playing pretty smart, staying behind the corpse of that other tank there. If he plays it smart, he can probably circle around, but no, pokes himself out a little bit too much there. Luckily not getting hit. The M5 does have the maneuverability to be able to run around with the KV-1. Unfortunately, he's wanting to be a hero and wanting to get out and get some shots on him, thinking that he can pick up the last kill. Unfortunately, the front armour of that KV-1 is incredibly difficult to penetrate. He really should just sit in that position and let the SU-5 take him out. Thinking better of it now, trying to play a run around, unfortunately gets his track taken out, so it should just be a simple case of being able to pick him off, no problem whatsoever, and it's just the KV-1 and the SU-5 left. Unfortunately, the SU-5 knows where he is, probably knows that he's tracked, and is going to be able to lay some serious damage down on him. But this guy doing a fantastic job so far, picking up 7 kills for his team. Looks like the SU-5 trying to possibly bait him in by saying he's out of ammunition and pretending that he didn't mean to say that in open chat. Or he could really be out of ammunition. Sees the SU-5. Oh, first shot missed, so it's time to find out whether this SU-5 really has no ammunition left. As a good shot on the side armour of the KV-1 should be able to take him out, but it looks like indeed he has got no ammunition left. And our man, Yuri Poik, managed to pick up 8 kills for his team and pretty much winning that one solo there, doing an absolutely amazing job of playing this tank to its strengths and doing a fantastic job. So thank you very much to you for sending that replay in. Thank you to you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.